Okay, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I got my hair cut. It's very, very hot today, and Chico's really he's not he's not happy right now. He's very hot. 90. I think they said it was 91 with the humidity and everything. So we will have two shows. There'll be a late one tonight. I'll be up with watching the NBA finals, so I'm also do a late one. Hey, Particle. Thanks, Particle. I got a copyright on one of the videos yesterday. I can't believe I thought, I don't understand it. I guess I won't play the music then. I did that a couple of times. I did that a couple of times, and I told them the channel and everything else. I'll keep trying it. Vegas. Well, how did it go in Vegas? All right. We had Wendy from News Force last night. It was an hour. It was a good one last night. And the day before, Mel and Holly and Mel was both on the last two. Oh, all right. I'll try to do it next time. I'm texting JJ and telling her I'm live right now. She's on Telegram. And last night, just before we went off, I told Kay. Kay missed it. She came off, and Andrew was blocked. He was being really negative and calling me a mental person, and he was being really bad last night. So I didn't even spoke to him. He was being rude, and he's gone. He asked JJ if she was a Democrat. Then he was making fun of that Steven guy, said he's gay and has an adopted child. What's wrong with that? Oh my God. Oh, Andrew last night came in at the end after Kay got off and started harassing. Oh, JJ, are you a Democrat? And then he started saying, "Oh, the host is mentally disabled or something." And he doesn't even say negative. He just puts out crap. So I said, I just blocked him. I recorded him because he was harassing me. So, Flying Eagle, should we play that military guy? He has some news on Iran blackout. So I think that's a big video. We should play first. It's 20 minutes, but it's an important video we have to get out, I think. So we'll get that. Yeah, it was right at the end, Carol, right before we went off. So I'm going to play this first one, 20 minutes.
For everyone.
It's June 10th, 2026, and if you remember from yesterday, Iran is said to have put a Shahid drone into a U.S. Army Apache helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz. Just wild. Could have been a drone swarm, could have been the Apache trying to shoot it down. We don't know the exact details yet, but the U.S. military's answer over the last 12 hours has been one of the cleanest, coldest air operations of this entire war. American fighter jets just flew into the most defended airspace on the planet and switched off Iran's ability to see. So today I'm going to be talking you through exactly what they did, what Iran threw back, and how Iran's rhetoric is now even higher at level 11. And then stay about 3/4 of the way through the video for the global roundup section, because a NATO fighter jet just took a live shot over Europe, and the Pentagon is quietly planning the biggest shakeup in decades. So we're going to get into that in the global roundup section. But how did we get here to this moment where Iran is being struck again, some of the radar sites? So at this point, the timeline matters, because Monday night, 7:33 p.m. Eastern time, a U.S. Army AH-64 Apache was flying a routine air patrol over regional waters off the coast of Oman, right basically at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz. And then it goes down into the water. Both crew members make it out. And if you saw my video yesterday, you know the recovery itself made history. An unmanned sea drone pulled them from the water in the first robot rescue the U.S. military has ever conducted. Both aviators stable, and that ended exactly the way that every one of us who's flown jets or attack helicopters or any other aircraft want it to go if a rescue mission needs to go down. So thank God that the aviators are all okay. But here's what's new since then. Two sources familiar with the incident now say an armed Iranian Shahid one-way attack drone struck the Apache, which is pretty wild. But Iran is running the full gaslight mode. Their officials are denying any role whatsoever and suggesting the helicopter just fell out of the sky on its own, and that armed Shahid drones in the area had nothing to do with this at this point. Yeah, were sure that those Shahed drones were just up there doing some real estate work. They were just getting real estate imagery for some new imagery that Iran wants to buy on the coast of Oman. But the commander-in-chief had enough, and by 5 p.m. last night, fighter jets from the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy pushed deep into Iranian airspace and struck the eyes and ears of the regime. Some of the radar sites in key locations around the islands and ports near the Strait of Hormuz. So as you guys know, we're seeing this military strategy versus proxy forces play out now in a massive way, and it shifts incredibly quickly. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in my upcoming book. You can pre-order it at mabbook.com. If you like military strategy and haven't realized yet that all the same principles can be applied to your life and career, then this book is definitely for you. I read The Art of War every year, and while those tactics are timeless, I wrote this book to show you how today's cutting-edge strategies can separate you from everyone else who just reads the same 3 leadership books and the same mainstream news every day. So check it out with the link in the description, mabbook.com. You can get a signed copy or an unsigned copy. I think you'll really enjoy it. So pop that link in the description. But now I want to go to X and give you a full breakdown of the imagery of some of the sites that were hit, and we'll see what CENTCOM is saying. Hey everybody, welcome to X. So here's what President Trump just recently said. He said Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price. President Donald J. Trump. And then if we go to CENTCOM's page, here we are in CENTCOM's page. So here's what they said. They posted a picture of an F-16 CJ. That's the jet that goes out and hunts enemy radars, basically acts as the bait, waits for the emitters to turn on, and then schwacks those different sites. So schwack is a technical term, by the way. Here's what they said. U.S. Central Command forces completed self-defense strikes against Iran June 9th at the commander-in-chief's direction in response to yesterday's downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter. CENTCOM forces struck Iranian air defense ground control stations and surveillance radar sites near the Strait of Hormuz with precision munitions from U.S. Air Force and Navy fighter jets. The operation was a proportional response to recent attacks on U.S. forces and international commercial ships transiting regional waters. U.S. forces remain vigilant and postured to defend against unjustified Iranian aggression. Okay, and this is Bandar Abbas. I wanted to show you guys this because if we zoom out, I'll give you a little perspective of where we're at. But this site right here would have been one of the ones that were struck or something similar to this. So here we are, Strait of Hormuz. Bandar Abbas is one of the main ports, not only for the IRGC, but also for commercial shipping from Iran. Their ports, they're getting their ships pushed back into their ports, as we all know. But when we look at this site up here, this is what could have targeted the Apache, sites like this. And as a fighter pilot, this is a juicy target because it has a lot of lead-in features, and it basically looks like a big bullseye. I mean, it's pretty hard to hide this thing. This is pretty obvious what's going on here. You got S-75 SAM sites. Those are also known as S2s. You can even see some of the launchers on the back of this. So again, not confirmed that this was the site, but likely just like this. And then there's some sort of a bunker structure right there. And this was the next site that was likely struck from reports I'm seeing. This is Jask Airfield, and this was interesting. I wanted to point this out to you guys. So obviously a lot of naval presence here, a lot of IRGC presence. But if we zoom in onto the radar sites, this is very interesting. You can see they've got these massive dishes here that are pointed right at the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, those things are huge. Not going to be able to hide those things very well. This is probably something similar, some radar dishes. However, it's hidden. The direction that it's facing is hidden. This one's just plain obvious. These two are pointed right at the Strait of Hormuz. So is that what was taken out? Could be. Obviously, lots of comms towers and comms control buildings here as well. So kind of the eyes and ears, the nerve center of the Strait of Hormuz looks like it's being taken out. And why wasn't this taken out before? I know a lot of you have asked that. Maybe there was some strategic plan to keep this stuff operational for a regime that was easier to work with. But it seems like at this point, the writing's on the wall. Everybody's kind of seeing the zebra can't change its stripes. And the Iranian regime is feeling the pain of that, having their eyes and ears in the Strait of Hormuz basically being blotted out. Okay, let's pop to the third site. There's 4 total sites that reports are saying could have been hit. So this is a coastal area. We know that there's a lot of IRGC elements embedded throughout these different coastal. Oh yeah, right there. IRGC naval base in Hormuzgan province, munitions bunkers, radar sites, AAA pieces, and again, just things, comms towers right there. Yeah, so this comms tower could have been one of the sites that was hit as well. Pretty huge comms tower there. Okay, and then one more for the road, Kashim Island here. So there's the minefield. We're zooming past that. Kashim Island, lots of different radar sites, the eyes and ears, one of the main islands to detect ships coming in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is why you can see some high ground here on this little satellite island from Kashim. So they're going to put comms towers, yeah, right there. Hingham Island comms site right there. Launch sites down here for surface-to-air missiles. And then even up here, we've got radars, we've got UAV hangars, so lots of storage sites, and some of these have already been struck in the last few months. But at this point, some of these radar sites might have gotten a little double tap just to make sure that they're not helping Iran harass ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So here's the targeting chain, because at this point, these fighter jets have to go into contested airspace, but they don't go in alone. The EA-18G Growler, likely some of the Navy fighter jets that led the way, and we call that the beginning of the suppression of the IADS, Integrated Air Defense Systems. Because remember, since the ceasefire has happened, I know a lot of you don't agree with the ceasefire ever taking place, but hey, this is where we are right now. With the ceasefire having taken place, Iran's had the ability to rebuild their integrated air defense systems, which means now you kind of got to start from scratch. So this EA-18G Growlers, those are going in, blinding the different radar sites. So those radar sites can't actually shoot down the jets that are going to hit them. So it's kind of this big coordinated orchestra. And remember, the radars out there, those are the eyeballs for the air and for the water, for Iran to actually control ships going into the Strait of Hormuz, to alert their Mosquito fleet to go out and harass a ship because of these different radars and comm sites. So
I wanted to play this one first because this was about Iran. It's a 16 and we're 8 minutes into it. First video. I just got home, got all the things done, and we'll be doing 2 shows. I'll be up late watching the finals tonight, so we'll do 3 hours, go to 7, take an hour break. We might do a 9 o'clock one. We'll do a late one at 9. Because I'll be up till 11 watching the basketball game. And Lucy, it came in the mail this morning, or just now. Thanks.
Will all of them be eventually evaporated from the area? We'll see. But at this point, it looks like EA-18G Growlers, those go in, they do electronic attack. The keyword for that, and the word we would use in the fighter world, was music. You basically send music. Okay, yeah, we're just giving you some AC/DC, maybe some Pink Floyd or some Daft Punk. Any Daft Punk fans out there? Probably the EA-18G Growler crews are. But they're going to blind those different radar sites by pumping all that electronic attack into them. And that's going to be followed up by F-16 CJs, highly capable fighter jets. These have the ability to sniff out radar streams as well, see where the radars are pointed, see where they're looking, see when they turn on. And then remember, Iran's going to use delayed tactics now. And this is likely how they were able to take down the F-15E also. But a delayed tactic means you don't turn on any sensors until the jets are basically right overhead. They're trying to make this as difficult as possible on American forces. And that's likely what these F-16 CJs went up against when they went in and struck down these sites just yesterday. You've got the EA-18G Growlers. Strike Eagles can team up with those F-16 CJs as well. So the F-15E is a highly capable platform, and that's because it can carry so many weapons, and it's got redundancy. 2 engines, 2 aviators in the cockpit, and a lot of weapons, perfect for a mission just like this. So the US military didn't respond to the Apache attack by hitting one symbolic target and calling it even. They responded by degrading Iran's ability to do it again. And by leaving the really valuable targets untouched, like power plants and bridges, they're just sitting there. That's kind of a message. So we know where everything is, and we're choosing not to hit it yet. So Iran spent 20 years building radar networks around the strait, and American fighter jets just finished a lot of them off in one night, and they didn't even leave their number. You made it to the Global Roundup section, my friend. So here's what's going on here. That's pretty wild. So I'm probably going to shift to some Russia videos here in the next week or so. But NATO just went kinetic over Europe. A French Air Force Rafale operating under NATO command shot down an unidentified drone after it crossed into Latvian airspace. A live missile shot by a NATO alliance fighter over alliance territory, while Russia kicked off Baltic Fleet air drills out of Kaliningrad with Su-24 bombers and Su-30 fighters right next door. So the eastern flank is getting a little twitchy at this point. And then story 2, the Pentagon is reportedly drawing up the biggest command structure overhaul in decades, consolidating 11 combatant commands down to 8. Folding CENTCOM, EUCOM, AFRICOM under a new U.S. international command and merging NORTHCOM and SOUTHCOM into an Americas command. Still pre-decisional, but if it happens, the command running this entire Iran war gets reorganized in the middle of this fight, but they get a lot more forces at their disposal as well. So now let's move to know the enemy and know yourself, as our boy Sun Tzu likes to say. But the rhetoric machine in Iran is in full afterburner at this point. They're in max afterburner. Could you imagine if they're like, we're not in max afterburner, we're only in full afterburner. We will never use the term max afterburner. I feel like that's what they would say about the channel at this point. But the IRGC announced in their words that the U.S. is a warmongering American regime after these different island sites were struck. So how did the Iranian regime respond? Well, they launched missiles at Al Azraq base in Jordan. That's the Mawafqa Salti, the base that has hosted American F-35s. They also threw fire at Kuwait for good measure. They kind of always do that. They're like, launch a bunch at Jordan. Oh yeah, a couple towards Kuwait as well. Can't leave Kuwait out. Hey, make sure you guys just add on a few tips for Kuwait. We're going to launch everywhere else, but obviously we got to launch some at Kuwait. We don't want to leave them out. They also claimed they downed an MQ-9 Reaper drone. It looks like Jordan swatted all of those different incoming missiles, 5 of them out of the sky. Bahrain intercepted the missiles. Kuwait intercepted the missiles as well. Geolocated video out of Bahrain shows a flash near the U.S. base, and that's about the extent of it. It didn't hit the actual base itself from everything that we're seeing. So it looks like Iran's predetermined list of targets went 0 for 20 or whatever it was at this point. And here's the rhetoric that tells you Tehran knows it's losing the room right now. Foreign Minister Agarachi spent the night working the phones to Turkey and Saudi Arabia, insisting on Iran's, quote, inherent right to self-defense, including reciprocal action. Meanwhile, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, the actual neighborhoods in the Persian Gulf, publicly condemned Iran for shooting at them, obviously. So when your retaliation's biggest accomplishment is uniting the Gulf against you, Agarachi, that's not really deterrence, that's a tantrum with ballistic missiles. And that brings us to the 40 chess strategic analysis section. So at this point, if we zoom out a little bit, the missiles Iran's launching is only half the game. They want their drones to go out and wreak havoc as well during these negotiations, which is pretty weird. So it probably shows a lot of fractures within the leadership itself. And now President Trump is basically saying, hours after the strikes, that Iran is all talk and no action. So not a strike threat. That's a countdown clock placed on the negotiating table. Because it looks like Iran not even trying to come to the table with something that will be valuable, because they've basically drifted us along, drifted the world again for a few months while they've rebuilt their stockpiles. At this point, the future of the Strait of Hormuz, their nuclear program, the $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets that Iran wants released. Iran is basically saying that the United States is undermining its process through contradictory messages. So they're gaslighting as they do. Anybody else feel like their bad ex is running the country of Iran at this point? Wait, did we all accidentally date Agarachi from Iran? So what happens next? Does the supreme leader take the Qatari off-ramp, with Qatar saying to kind of be helping out with the negotiations now with the nuclear program and the Strait of Hormuz? Or does a predetermined targeting list that's been being built in the Pentagon for the last few months actually come out and see the light of day with more and more U.S. strikes? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts.
So that's an update out of I ran from that guy. Well, Carol, guess what I just found on Nick Shirley? He just came out 3 hours ago on a 32-minute one. So we got a big Nick Shirley video coming up after Billy. I got two short Billies, and the third one is a 22-minute Billy. So, all right. So we're gonna do some short ones before we get to the first big ones.
Halo, Iowa.
3 minutes.
I've called the mayor and suggested that I get put on some kind of a committee because I'm Halo's resident expert. I build data centers. I own data centers. I built the first private data center in the state of Iowa, and everything that Google is telling you is BS. I have a data center right now that's running in Hiawatha, and I have been there 14 years and have never used 1 gallon of water. What Google isn't telling you is they don't want to use the technology because it costs more. They're going to burn through the water, and when it's done, and they don't care. Then they'll put the money in. And so I can guarantee you, if you guys want to start a committee, I'll volunteer because I'm the expert. I build them. I'm working on one right now. I'm working on one in Milwaukee. I live here, and if I told you on the phone, I called you and talked to you, and I said, you should really let me help you. I never heard anything back. And I warned you, I said, my well goes dry. I'm coming after you because I know what's going on. And you can't do this. You guys have to say no water. They don't have to have it. I mean, to give you an idea, you people, how many people in here have heard of Unity Point Health? Okay, all right. I have 100% of their IT in my data center, and I've never used a gallon of water. And I'm the most efficient data center in the world. So this is all crap, and you guys don't want to listen. In fact, I called you and said, maybe we should talk. Never heard back from you. So if you guys want to put a committee together, you can call me. I'll tell you the truth, and I can explain everything to you how this works, because they're lying to you big time. There's absolutely no reason to use a gallon of water. And the same thing on the efficiency of the electricity. They're doing the cheapest way they can. All they want to do is get the gravy, and when it turns to shit, they're gone. Google is not our friend. So anybody wants to talk to me, I'll sit over here afterwards and I'll explain it to you. So if you would like, I would be more than happy to be on your committee to work on this because I am the expert. I build them. I know. Thanks.
Okay, I thought that was an important one to get out. Let's do watch the water lady. Seven.
Post what I went through between the quick layover in Denver. So I got on the plane in Charleston, South Carolina, and the captain had said that they had to gas up while we were on the plane, so it would be another half hour. And then Denver was really bad with storms and hail and all this stuff, so we would be rerouted. So of course my mind starts going into like what's going on, and whatever. I mean, people next to me are like, oh, there's storms. Again, clueless in Seattle type people. But anyway, so I couldn't research because I couldn't get the Wi-Fi, whatever. I started wondering, like, what's on top of Denver right now? Are they clearing out, I don't know, like demonic phases or things in the sky that we're not supposed to see? It was really weird because we had to go all the way south, down by Austin, to go to Colorado. We didn't go across because of alleged storms, or the storms made because something in the sky that we weren't supposed to see. So, people around me, nobody was thinking what I was thinking. So I didn't even bother getting into conversations. So sitting on the plane for 4.5 hours, that was not meant. I was already upset. And then my connecting flight was supposed to be at 8:05, and allegedly it was leaving at 8:59. And I was like, okay, why 8:59? But okay, so we flew in, got in at 8:37, didn't get to the gate until 8:50, which I don't know why. So before getting on that plane to get there, so while I'm going into that situation, it was supposed to be C50 was the gate. And the lady came up to me and said that the gate was changed to, you ready for this? C33. I just started laughing. I'm like, okay, so I got off. There's 15 of us that left earlier because we had connecting flights. Get to the gate at C33. I have a purse, a duffel bag, and my little carry-on. Have never had a problem with this before. The men tell me, and it brought back when I was kicked off of Southwest for not wearing a mask back in 2020. And it was like the same feeling. And these two men start saying, you have to put your purse away or check your bag. I'm like, I'm not checking my bag. And it's a 50-minute flight. And he's like, well, then I can't let you on. And I'm like, why? He goes, your purse is an item. So this man behind me starts going, ma'am, you're in the right. There's no law for that stuff. And the two guys at the gate were like, you better be quiet or we're going to have you arrested or won't let you on this flight, all this shit. And he just kept talking. Calmly, I was calm. I said, sir, I don't have to do this stuff. I need to get my butt on that plane so I don't miss it. And he was like, the plane's not leaving, so don't worry about it. I said, they're waiting on me because you guys are making me throw my purse in a already stuffed, duffel bag. So I put my purse in, had to pull stuff out, and I'm carrying a book, these head things for my daughter's bridal shower, and something else, which are items. But they said they weren't items. A book was okay, but my purse wasn't. So I'm sitting there stuffing my stuff, pulling everything out, and then they go to scan my ticket, and it didn't scan. He's like, I need your ID. I said, my ID is stuffed at the bottom of my purse that you just made me rearrange my whole bag. So I'm starting to go, God, are you playing a joke on me? Because this brings back the same memories that happened with Southwest, again, with the COVID thing. So the guys are getting on their power trip. So the man starts hearing me talk to these guys like, this is not man. This is man's law, not God's law. This is not. And the man starts coming more at them and saying, she's right. You're taking advantage of her. There's no law. There's nothing. And you're making her kind of wait for all this. Anyway, long story short, they had him arrested because we both were going at it. And I told them the demonic side of, the system. And I'm like, they kept telling me that's always been a law. I said, no one, even on the other flights, were making me do this. And so I could see the little devil horns coming out of them. And they were like these little power trip men. And I totally let him have it. I ripped an ass up and down them in a very stern, but not screaming way. And the man was already, like I said, gone. And I was so angry, I was shaking. And I'm like, is this a joke being played on me? Or is this to mess with me because I don't do anything? I don't do the I thing. Is there a paper trail with me now? Which I don't give a shit. But I told them basically, that they're part of the Red Sea moment and they're on the bad side of God and they're not godly people. And people all around were watching and listening. And the man, like I said, the man was standing up. And it was so weird because I've never had that happen. Normally it's me standing up for myself. And this man was on my back, not physically, but, literally piggybacking me and everything. And I feel like the awakened found the awakened, or the souls. So he was taken away, couldn't get on the flight. So that was step one. Got on the flight, told the stewardess what happened. They were like, I'm so sorry, you're fine. Because the guys basically told me as soon as I got on the plane, I was able to take the purse out and put it and carry it. And I'm like, this is no different than compliance. So I told him to kiss my ass. Sorry, but I don't give a shit. And I still got on the plane. And then I got on there and the people next to me were not awake, but they were eating McDonald's. And that's what I sat next to. So I started telling them all about the liberals, and they're from Indiana. And I don't care anymore. I don't care. But it was a good conversation. But the lady's son had me sit in his seat. So he got the middle seat. And I thought that was really nice of him. So anyway, long story short, I get to Phoenix and I ride in a taxi with a man from Iraq, which I will post that interview about human trafficking. And it's quite amazing how God works. But the fact that it was gate C33, I mean, you guys, you got to stand your ground. And I don't know what it is, but I can pivot very well with my memories and stuff. So I was proud of myself and proud of this man. I don't know who he is. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but if he does, thank you for standing up and taking the oath of our freedoms, because
Okay, I guess that's how that ended. We'll watch the water. Next one's 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
What you're about to see may be difficult to watch. It's a real accident caught on tape. Fortunately,
Dictator has risen to power through manipulation of people. Caesar, Cromwell, Hitler, Mussolini, Lenin, Pol Pot.
First up tonight at 10, calls for a Valley School Board member to resign end in chaos. That board member in Deer Valley, caught on camera using a Nazi salute, walked out of tonight's meeting.
And now we're hearing from that board member, Kimberly Fisher, exclusively. Austin Walker's live in North Phoenix to walk us through how this controversy really blew up in public tonight, Austin.
Yeah, this definitely was an explosion. Tensions extremely high tonight. Now, 20 people speaking at public comment. Many of those, the majority, aimed at Fisher herself, asking her and demanding her to leave the school board altogether. Now, this all stems from a May meeting when she used that Nazi symbol and also said Heil twice. This is that video on your screen. It shows you the exact moment. It did go very popular and viral on social media. That's the moment they're referring to, where she says she was referring to a current school board president, Paul Carver Jr., as a dictator. And tonight, after public comment, she wanted to weigh in and respond to the criticism against her, but that's when the first disagreement happened.
You have 90 seconds, or we can just turn your mic off. We're not going to do this. Well, you can use the board report too. You can also use your board report. Well, apparently the dictatorship is going to continue.
Yeah, so once Fisher was able to speak, she first listed off a group of dictators that rose to power. She then compared the teachers union to a communist black fist, and she also said they support hate speech. She also adds that after this moment, her family was completely doxxed. We're talking about the moment she used the signal and also the word Heil. She also says that her everything had been targeted.
I'm a Christian. And so all right now. And so it's a free-for-all. What is it they call me? A Christian nationalist? I've heard it.
Yeah, so Fisher spoke for a few more minutes. She said her critics are using the Jewish community for political points. She also made many in the crowd laugh when saying that. Now, through her speech, board members were calling on the district to cut her mic, while the board president told her her time was up. Her mic was then cut. She packed up to leave, saying her full remarks would be on social media. She then left early before the meeting was over, but just a few minutes ago, we spoke with her exclusively, and she says she's not going anywhere.
I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm not resigning. I will tell you that. My constituents have been very clear. They have sent me messages. In fact, I've gotten 3 tonight that have said, stay strong, don't resign. Well, a few that said, are you safe? Then stay strong, don't resign, things like that. And I'm not going to.
Yeah, so this certainly was a school board meeting like no other. And again, many people who took the mic tonight were asking and demanding for her resignation. What you just heard from her right here, she's not going anywhere. Again, so many individuals pointed towards the Jewish community tonight, saying that they felt disrespected and not safe at school because of this school board member. Again, we're going to continue to follow this story throughout the night and into our morning show as we continue to get more developments, also following it throughout the week. Earlier today, there was a protest that happened earlier of people outside before the 4:30 meeting. We have that full story on azfamily.com. Our Alexa.
Okay, that's a school board meeting argument. Okay, the first 3-minute one here. 3 minutes and then 22-minute Billy.
Some land, which we
Welcome to Truth by Billy Bean.
This is the
Today's
big one,
date,
guys.
June 10, 2026,
22
time in
minutes.
Texas, about
22.
11 a.m. Some of the things we'll cover: President Trump taking it to the streets, love in Paris, Bank America recommends sell, and World War III, a banker's war. So let's get started. So we have this from U.S. Intel. This came out yesterday. Bank of America warned its investors. There are many red flags in the U.S. stock market. Bank of America recommends sell everything. And Bank of America also takes into its speculation about the future, falling supplies of crude oil. As I've put out in previous videos, we had JP Morgan Chase talking about dropping a world supply of crude oil, and that by July, it may force the closing of refineries on a global basis. What does that mean for you and I? That would mean that we can't buy gasoline or diesel at any price, that it's simply unavailable. So let's pray against that. We have this from 107, recently interviewed on John Michael Chalmers' podcast, that the U.S. and Israel relations reflects what's going on in many parts of the world with the deep state, and it is something we can see with our own lying eyes. The deep state's objective now with World War III is to pit religions against one another: Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and so on. And that many, we can see also with our own lying eyes, the symbolism built into many world capital buildings and streets and so on, that we can see Washington, D.C., London, and Baghdad. Who would have thought? And we have this. Reinvest Money recently interviewed Martin Armstrong, globally famous economist, who uses his predictive AI software, Socrates. Socrates does have a valid track record going back decades in making accurate calls about what countries will do, what banks will do, and so on. And Martin Armstrong puts forth that the problem with the Ukraine-Russia ongoing situation is the neo-Nazi Zelensky. Well, many have suspected that he was working on a deep state agenda, and that he has pushed a hate Russian people agenda, hate people who speak Russian, hate people who practice the Russian culture, as many Ukrainians do. And so he's been successful at destroying and killing many ethnic Russian people in Ukraine. It's believed Ukraine has lost to death 1.8 million Ukrainian males. So that's going on. And so we shouldn't reasonably expect a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Zelensky fights is a front person. He doesn't fight. He's a front person for the deep state. And it's well known in Russia that Zelensky has made multiple assassination attempts on Putin. So that's going on. And we can see with our own lying eyes a move by Zelensky on behalf of the deep state. After President Trump removed the sanctions on Russian oil, with the current Middle East situation going on, to ease the supply of oil in the world. So we eased the sanctions on Russian oil, and then immediately Zelensky, on behalf of the deep state, began to attack the Russian refineries and terminals and so on. So yeah, we see it, and we know Zelensky was put in place by certain individuals within the U.S. government who I believe also practice neo-Nazi tactics. Specifically, Victoria Nuland of the U.S. State Department, who led the effort by the U.S. government to topple the democratically elected government in Ukraine in 2014. As a long-term setup by the deep state, pitting actually Europe and ostensibly the U.S. via its proxy Ukraine against Russia. However, with the election of President Trump, a new sheriff in town who clearly sees what is going on, the U.S. has begun in the last year, certainly, to withdraw from both Ukraine and Europe. Now, Martin Armstrong.
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe. Make your browser
also puts this forth that a reasonable pillar to bring about peace between Ukraine and Russia will be Ukraine letting go of the areas where the people have voted who speak Russian and practice Russian culture and have voted to join Russia. That would be Luhansk, Donetsk, Kherson, Zaporizhzhia, but there are other areas that I believe Russia will take, including Sumy, Kharkiv, and Odessa. So Martin Armstrong says the only way to bring about peace between Ukraine and Russia is for Ukraine to let go of these areas. And we have this. What's going on in Iran, according to Martin Armstrong, is another deep state long-term plan. And President Trump has flipped this scenario. Now, those of you who believe that the U.S. government, the CIA, the U.S. military did not foresee the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, I would point out that this closure that was brought about by this conflict of the U.S., Israel versus Iran since February 28 is in the process of destroying the deep state. City of London, financial center for the deep state. They're cut off from selling oil, from trafficking, from money laundering, and so on. So that's going on. And it's believed that this move by the U.S. to bring down the deep state also means to bring about a global banking crisis designed to strangle the deep state. And we have this before it's news. Snafu Radio recently interviewed Dr. Jim Willey, PhD economist, who has decades of experience in accurately and truthfully putting forth what's going on with global economy. And he says President Trump is bringing down the deep state and the city of London via this current effort against Iran in the Middle East. And that another thing President Trump did to bring down the deep state via the crisis in Iran, ships not able to move, ships not able to get insurance, is through Scott Bessent, Secretary of Treasury, to put forth a U.S. backed insurance program for ships directly in competition with the deep state Lloyd's of London. So that's going on. And we have this. So we have that. Jim Willey says he's now following Promethean Update, which I also recommend.
Maria.
Talking about
we got a 32
taking
minute.
down the City of London, Deep State Financial Center, which apparently Mark Carney, leader of Canada, is also in collusion with. We see Mark Carney taking Canada in a cozy position with the CCP, and I believe it's a setup then to allow the CCP military to bivouac in Canada, which of course the U.S. and U.S. military would never allow. So that's going on. And Jim Willey continues, part of President Trump's objectives against Iran is to destroy the deep state. And one way President Trump is bringing this about is with his new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. So that's going on. We'll see the Fed working on behalf of the American people instead of the deep state. And Wall Street's role, according to Dr. Jim Willey, is to
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood or live like a local. Unplug for the day or plunge into a long weekend. With IHG's 21 hotel brands, you can guest how you guest.
Let's face it, most of us aren't going to set foot on Mars.
I'm on Mars! It's freezing. I'm gonna
transfer and money launder for the deep state via many vehicles. We know human trafficking, cartels, and so on. So it appears that during this process of God, the American people, and President Trump destroying the deep state money pit via global banks, will be also to make major hits on Wall Street. So that's going on. And we have this. And the global banks are the primary money laundering vehicle for human smuggling and the cartels and so on. So they're likely also to go down. And we have this. Yeah. Dr. Jim Willie puts forth things that many of us who are awake know. For instance, the flesh and blood, JB, passed away in 2019. We saw during the 4 years of JB following a global coup of the presidential election in 2020, we saw fake JBs, many actors, and so on. So that's going on. Now, Dr. Jim Willie puts forth that the real power during the JB years was Obama. Recall, when Obama left the presidency, he bought a house about 3 blocks from the White House, and people wondered why. And he used many people who had been in the Obama cabinet to help him run the U.S. during the JB years. Susan Rice did domestic policy, Victoria Nuland did foreign policy, and so on. And we have this. And also the presidential coup of 2020 actually was a deep state operation. And we have this, President Trump meeting recently with President Xi of China. President Trump worked toward getting trade agreements with China. One area the U.S. needed was rare earth minerals and also U.S. chips from Taiwan. All of this, President Trump pursuing the trade agreement with China, was another way to bring down the deep state in the city of London. And also, what's going on in Iran is a maximum move against the deep state. So that's going on. And we have this. So we saw yesterday morning an Apache helicopter going down in near the Strait of Hormuz, but actually in the Gulf of Oman, allegedly hit by an Iran drone. President Trump then, within hours, retaliated against Iran with major smackdowns, primarily along the southern coast of Iran, where they are hitting ships and launching missiles toward U.S. destroyers and so on. So then, after the Apache went down and was rescued in a historic way using U.S. military AI drone boats, the first time in history for that rescue, but it comes out now via Navy channel that a key component to that successful rescue of the 2 U.S. Apache pilots by the AI U.S. military boat was due to years of training by the U.S. military for such a time as this, where they would have the pilots in a mock-up helicopter underwater and train them to remain calm, unfasten yourself in your seatbelt and open the door and get out underwater. So that was going on as a key part of a successful rescue by the U.S. military AI drone boat. So that's going on. And we saw then President Trump retaliating.
Hey, Meta, play gorgeous.
Thank you.
This is the Honest Kitchen's Whole Food Clusters. Healthy, high-quality dog food.
In a strong move by the U.S. military to decrease the efficacy of Iran along its southern coast in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. hit Qasem Island, Sirak, Jazm, and other locations along southern Iran, missile locations, radars, air defense, and so on. Way to go, President Trump. We have this from Ward Carroll. So we've been hearing that the U.S. Military has dramatically decreased its stockpile of munitions, missiles, ammo, and so on, giving much for years to Ukraine and using much against Iran. And now the U.S. military recently had approved by Congress, excuse me, a $1.5 trillion budget. We also had President Trump using an executive order to take war munitions manufacturing to a time of war production level. At any rate, delivery times for many key munitions, including Tomahawks, JASM, and so on, 1 to 3 years, even with the increase of our production. And here's a happy note. So I thought this was very interesting. This came out on France 24 English, an interview of a Hollywood actress and author, Stephen Lambers, and her book, You Had Me at Bonjour. Now, she's in her 40s and has been happily married for about 10 years to her current French husband, who's 6 years younger than she is. But I found that she made, and she's called a love coach, she made a significant statement talking about herself. So she married the Frenchman in her 40s, and she realized her failed actress career, and then she went into writing and love coaching. She realized that she herself had always sought out men who were unavailable because she herself, on a subconscious level, was unavailable. Once she recognized that, she could open herself up to having a healthy relationship. So most likely her book, You Had Me at Bonjour, is most likely a good read. And now a short prayer. This is based on Habakkuk chapter 2. We pray, Father, in the name of Jesus, whom many call Yeshua, that you strengthen and embolden your people as we stand our watch, live our lives in righteousness, so that we may post your message, write it and speak it plainly, and do our job to wait upon you, Lord, as you take down our enemies. And we say thank you, God the Father, God the Son, Jesus, who many call Yeshua, and God the Holy Spirit. I say to my family and friends, remain steady out there, continue to pray. God is in charge and he is on the move. I love you and I'll see you soon.
Okay, that's your big one, first one so far. And I got 2 short ones, one from last night and one from this morning. And then we'll do a couple short ones, and then we'll do Nick's video. Yeah.
I'm in Texas about 8 p.m.
4 minutes.
The U.S. has engaged in its first wave of hits on Iran. So what have they hit? We have this from U.S. Intel. So about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the U.S. began its retaliatory hits on Iran for the U.S. Apache helicopter being hit yesterday. And we have that the U.S. has hit the Sirik Naval Base, the Jask Naval Base, and Bandar Abbas Air Defense System, the Manab area, on the coast, a missile battery, the Qashm Island Missile Battery, the Qashm Island Port. That was the first wave. And we're understanding the second wave is beginning right about now, or a little while ago, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have this also from U.S. Intel. Iran has launched drones, and the U.S. expects Iran to begin launching missiles. From MonkeyWorks, we have rumors. President Trump post, where did Iran's uranium come? And many believe it's quite possible it was during the Obama and HRC years when they arranged to sell U.S. uranium to Russia. So it's highly likely the uranium in Iran is actually U.S. uranium. And we have this, that Iran has hit in Iraq near a U.S. military base. And from 2C TV, believing that the second wave will begin soon. Yeah, about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, also during that first wave, the U.S. hit 2 freshwater storage tanks in Saruk. And I believe that 2C TV also indicated that the U.S. had hit water storage areas in Saruk, which is an IRGC location. And we can, U.S. Intel confirms that the U.S. has hit water storage tanks in Saruk, and that all fresh water has been taken down by the U.S. And recall, Saruk, according to 2C TV, is a IRGC location. Iran's threat is to hit water facilities and power grid in the Gulf states. So this concludes my flash. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, one more, we'll be caught up with Billy.
Texas about 1 p.m. Apparently, the U.S. will hit Iran much harder today in another retaliatory
I believe
strike.
it's a different one. There's two
So
4
that's
minute,
going on.
4 minute one.
We have from U.S. Intel, President Trump announcing publicly in a presser this morning that the U.S. will hit Iran again today, much, much harder. And we're hearing that Iran is claiming overnight it hit 21 U.S. bases, plus took down an MQ-9 U.S. drone. and that it hit U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Jordan, and so on. And Iran claims to have done all this just last night. And we have from Max Afterburner that yes, last night Iran did launch missiles and drones toward some U.S. bases, but all of the missiles and drones were taken down. The U.S. Army, U.S. military then also engaged in retaliatory strikes against Iran last night using U.S. Air Force and Navy planes. We have this from Promethean Update regarding President Trump and his taking it to the streets and moving against the deep state in multiple world locations, including Venezuela, Cuba, and Iran. And Promethean Update brings this out recently. We heard Zelensky sent a letter to President Putin, but in the letter, Zelensky makes clear Ukraine is withdrawing and moving away from the U.S. and moving to side with Europe, and that President Trump is working on behalf of many nations so that the nations move to work on behalf of their people and not for a global elite group. Some of these nations include the U.S., Russia, Ukraine, Iran, and Israel. And a move for Israel, too, to work on behalf of its people rather than global elitist. And we have, with regard to Iran's claim they hit 21 U.S. bases last night, CENTCOM denies. And President Trump on Israel Channel 13 states more hits to come against Iran soon. And with our U.S. intel, it's indicated to be today, June 10. So this concludes my flash. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
All right, we're caught up with Billy, you guys. Terry, yeah, I just got home a little bit ago, so we'll have a late one tonight, too. Be up watching the finals tonight. New images, you guys. You guys see this one?
Live video of her working in the back room filled with absentee ballots.
Okay, no say nothing. Listen.
At 10:30 p.m. on November 3rd, all media and poll watchers were told to leave State Farm Arena because ballot counting was going to stop. But Ruby and her daughter and 3 others remained behind at State Farm Arena. They pulled boxes of ballots out from under the table that was placed there in the morning and distributed them to several counting stations.
Back to Fulton County, Georgia right now, where our reporter Blaine Alexander apparently has some new reporting on the expectations for that count.
Well, Rachel, we've learned that the counting continues tonight. You know, right here in State Farm Arena behind me, we've learned that there are 5 people who are still inside, still working to scan those absentee ballots and try and get those numbers tabulated. Now, initially, we were told that everybody went home at about 10:30, but I just got off the phone with the county spokesperson who tells me that indeed there are still some people in there quite literally burning the midnight oil, scanning ballot after ballot and trying to get that information in.
And Blaine, specifically, you said 5 people are inside that building. That's 5 actual individuals who are working on all the absentees in Fulton County right now? Just 5? Wow. Talk about having the sort of fate of the nation in your hands.
Ruby is seen here in this video running the exact same stack of ballots to the machine 3 times.
What happened to the water
Other
break?
workers do the same.
Right.
Note that a large surge in Biden votes can be observed after this tabulation at 06:34 Greenwich Mean Time. which is 1:34 a.m. in Georgia, just after the time in question.
Huh. No water break. No, but
So Wall Street, as you know it
3
right
minutes.
now, is about to disappear. Yes, all those stocks, Apple stock, Tesla, completely going on chain. It's quietly going to erase, listen, an invisible industry that's been taking a cut of every trade for 233 years. So here's exactly what happened in every detail possible to fully comprehend this. On March 18th, 2026, the SEC approved the NASDAQ to trade tokenized stocks. What tokenized stocks are basically crypto versions of the same stock. So you have a stock, but there's a crypto version. The reason why they do that is because the blockchain technology is significantly faster and better. It's a superior form of technology. It's like saying, I'm going to Google search something versus using Claude. It's like the same difference. It's so much better on blockchain. Those tokenized shares trade on the same order book as regular shares with identical rights as stocks. Same stock, same price. One version just lives on the blockchain. This isn't a side experiment.
Yes,
It's a real market rebuilt entirely. And it's not just NASDAQ, it's the NYSE, which is a 233-year-old institution. It's building its own version set to launch in the second half of this year, working with banks like BNY and Citi to fund it. In about 6 months, the NYSE, NASDAQ, JP Morgan, Citi, and BNY, all of them moved on this at one time. When every giant pivots in the same direction in the same year, it's not a trend. It's called takeover specifically. Today, when you buy a stock, you don't actually own it for a full business day. The trade has to settle, and that 1 day delay is an entire reason there's an invisible middleman and this entire industry exists to take the fees away. The clearinghouse managing the gap between when you click buy and when a stock is really yours, that is the whole purpose of that company. And the scale of that gap is massive. The main clearinghouse moves over $3 quadrillion a year. Now, what you have to comprehend is that blockchain settlement is near instant. The gap vanishes completely, and so does the reason all of those middlemen have a job. Okay, that's the first wave. The bigger one is the actual money itself. The US stock market is worth around $6 trillion, and right now it's a walled garden. Limited hours, limited access, tokenizing it tears the entire walls down and lets digital dollars around the clock money pour straight in. There's a Wall Street analyst from Bernstein that's already calling 2026 the start of a tokenized super cycle. So understand what's really happening. The plumbing of the entire financial system is being ripped out completely and replaced. Are you going to get with it or get left behind? Your choice.
So that's a popular video there. Everybody's playing that one. We got some news out of Colorado. So we'll play that one, and then we'll get to Nick Shirley.
But nobody's telling you the real story behind the number. Plus, a federal investigation into Cherry Creek schools, a First Amendment win for a Colorado Springs therapist, questions about who's really watching taxpayer money flow to eviction defense groups, and nationally, VP Vance drops a bombshell referral on Tim Walz. But first, you guys, a huge announcement. RMV has just confirmed that the one and only Tina Peters will be speaking at Rocky Mountain Voices Freedom Festival in Castle Rock on Friday, June 26th, one of her very first public appearances since she was released. Peters became one of the most prominent voices for election transparency in the country and paid an enormous price for it. Rocky Mountain Voices covered every step of the way. She was prosecuted, convicted, and imprisoned in a case that election integrity advocates across the nation called politically motivated from the start. And just recently, Governor Jared Polis commuted her 9-year sentence, cutting it in half. And on June 1st, Peters walked out of the Pueblo State Prison. She will take the Freedom Festival stage later this month to tell you her story directly. So get your tickets before it's too late. rmvfreedomfest.com. We hope to see you there. Now let's get into it. Here is your Mountain Minute for Wednesday, June 10th. Again, just a reminder, only 16 days left until Freedom Fest. Let's get to it. Starting with the biggest Rocky Mountain Voice original of the day, a data story that reframes everything you've heard about Colorado's growth. Yes, the state crossed 6 million residents in 2025, but here is what the headlines left out. From 2015 to 2019, Colorado averaged around 50,000 net migrants a year, mostly Americans who chose to be here. Then that flipped. By 2024, international arrivals surged to over 53,000, while domestic migration from Americans collapsed to less than 1/8 the prior pace. Then, in 2025, even the international wave crashed, dropping 71% in a single year. The state confirmed net domestic migration went negative for the first time since 2004. More Americans left Colorado than arrived. 24 of the state's 64 counties are smaller today than in 2020. The counties actually attracting Americans, Weld and Douglas. The wave is gone. And what's underneath it is a state that stopped being a destination for Americans. Also from Colorado Accountability Project, a follow-up on the Community Eviction Defense Project, a nonprofit receiving taxpayer money through Colorado's Eviction Legal Defense Fund. Who's checking how the money is spent? The answer the fund gave is troubling. The statute creating the fund does not require independent audits of grantees. Reporting is self-reported. The fund says it does a baseline year-to-year comparison and follows up if something looks off, but that's it. No independent verification required by law. The commentary also raises a structural concern. CEDP places tenants into housing and then uses public funds to defend those same tenants against eviction. As the author puts it, not illegal, but not entirely above board either. Worth watching closely for sure. Cherry Creek School District is now the target of a federal civil rights investigation. The U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights opened up the probe Monday after allegations that the district violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act through racially discriminatory programming. The complaints specifically allege discrimination in student clubs, academic support programs, teacher training, plus a parent committee. The district says it hasn't received a copy of the complaint yet and strongly disagrees with how its programs have been characterized, but we will keep you posted. A federal judge has blocked Colorado from enforcing its counseling ban against a Colorado Springs therapist while her case moves forward. Colorado Springs counselor Haley Childs has argued the state's 2019 law, which prohibits licensed professionals from attempting to change a minor's gender identity or sexual orientation, violates her First Amendment rights. Both sides agree the state will not pursue professional discipline against her while the case proceeds. This comes after one judge signaled the case should be decided quickly, likely in Child's favor. Denver Public Schools voted unanimously to ban student cell phones from the entire school day starting next year. The ban covers phones, smartwatches, wireless earbuds, personal tablets, and any other personally owned communication devices. A DPS survey found 64% of parents and staff supported the move. Students were not on board. 97% said they opposed it. The policy was driven in part by a state law requiring districts to have a device policy in place by July 1st. An update on the Bent County Correctional Facility incident. The Colorado Department of Corrections has lifted the statewide visitation suspension at all facilities except one, following the deaths of 2 inmates ages 27 and 59 in a violent incident Saturday in Los Animas. No staff were hurt. The investigation continues, and Bent County remains on lockdown. Now nationally, Vice President J.D. Vance has referred evidence to the Justice Department's Fraud Division for possible criminal investigation into Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison. The House Oversight Committee released a report conducting that Walz and Ellison knew about widespread welfare fraud in their state as early as spring 2019, did nothing, and allegedly allowed retaliation against whistleblowers who tried to expose it. The committee estimates the fraud cost taxpayers more than $9 billion. Vance said on X, if state officials facilitated fraud, lied under oath, or harassed whistleblowers, they must face justice. And to close, Rocky Mountain Voice published a commentary today that's worth sitting with from Michael Hancock. The argument is direct. American Christians who have stepped back from politics because it feels too corrupt or too worldly have confused exhaustion with wisdom. The piece draws on Joseph, Daniel, and Esther, none of whom avoided the governing structures of their time, and argues that in a constitutional republic where citizens shape the laws and institutions that govern their neighbors, withdrawal is not spiritual maturity. It's abdication. The Christian does not engage politics because politics is ultimate. He engages because obedience is. That's all for today, folks. Stay engaged, stay informed, get your freedom back.
Okay, that was a good one from Colorado lady there today. Tina Peter, that's going to be one we have to watch out for that day. Okay, we got the latest new one today from Nick Shirley, 32 minutes, you guys. We'll see how this one is.
What kind of fucking white man?
Do what? I'm right here. You think they should give mass amnesty to everybody here in the United States? Yeah. So far today, my presence caused 2 arrests here in New York City. Unbelievable and unnecessary here.
Any one of you that identifies as a patriot is a traitor to humanity.
Why do you hate me so much for being white? Black lives matter, white lives matter, Asian lives matter, Mexican lives matter, all lives matter.
Black lives matter, period, that's it.
Anti-ICE protests taking place here in New York City. We're going to go in, we're going to go talk with these protesters, see what's happening. Here we go, let's see what happens in New York City. All right, here they are. It says, democracy dies in police state, a sign says right here.
Criminal activity. One of the vendors that were arrested yesterday and now is in ICE detention was selling phone cases.
Let's see. Look, we have all the people in the yellow vest. We'll see if they target me out of this protest here today. I have all the signs out here. What's your sign say? To build. What do you think about ICE coming through here yesterday?
I just think, quite frankly, it's BS. It's just an attack on a city that's mainly immigrants. And let's say for what it is. When everything is crumbling, especially with the government, they'll try to enforce any power. And the truth of the matter is that they're against the movement because they're against the people, and they don't care.
I'm hearing lots of the speech right now. They're saying they're coming for street vendors.
Yes.
And do you think people should be able to operate illegally on the streets of New York City?
Yes, I should. Yes, I think they should be able to.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And what makes you feel like people should be able to operate illegally on the streets of New York if they're selling from counterfeit goods? My name's Shirley on YouTube.
What's that?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was here yesterday. I saw the raid. I saw the aftermath of the raid, and then I heard there was a protest.
Urine boys?
No, I'm not. I don't know who that is. Look, now people are saying Viva Trump.
Under the most violent and brutal conditions.
And what were your thoughts on them coming through? And they looked like they arrested 9 illegal migrants from Africa, and they did have.
Wait, what's your
9
YouTube
what?
about?
9 what?
9 illegal migrants from Africa.
Illegal migrants? No human being is illegal. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you and I don't speak the same language. I don't think.
Okay. And what makes you think they weren't illegal?
I don't care if you call them illegal or not. No human being is illegal.
Do you believe in borders?
No, I don't. I think we should have open borders.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for being out here, and I appreciate your guys, and I respect.
Did he just say he doesn't believe? Oh my God! Why is he here? My God! I don't know, Carol. This is going to be a wild one, I think.
You guys' right to protest as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What do you think about all the people that showed up here today? What do you think that says about how people feel about ICE coming into the city?
I think it shows that people are sick and tired of the fact that of an administration that is deciding to bypass all types of due process, constitutional rights that New Yorkers have and that every American has. Due process doesn't stop when you reside in the United States, whether or not you have documentation or not. That's what the Constitution, that's what Supreme Court has said for decades.
And what did you think about the individuals who they arrested yesterday. Have you seen anything about what they're known for doing?
It's a disrespect of due process. It does not matter if that person has documentation or not.
Yeah.
You cannot nap people off the street. Like, would you? I mean, it's gonna. The way that people look at it right now is that it's not going to mean anything to you until your family member is taken.
Some of those individuals who they did target yesterday did have their final orders from like 2010. They've been overstaying their time here in the United States for now about 15 years.
Yeah, so my response to that is let them go through the legal system.
Yeah.
Disregard.
So they did go through the legal system and they had their final order. At least one of the people did. And the other people had been known for doing stuff illegally.
Right, so but then it's still up to the judicial system. It's up to the immigration system on its own to adjudicate that and to get through that. It's not up to the federal government to snap people off the street. And to be honest, I haven't seen the reports that you're looking at, so I don't want to comment on that.
Yeah.
But in general, what the Trump administration doing is an authoritarian power grab.
How are you doing, ma'am? Having a good day? You all right? We were just talking. All right, yellow vests are here. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Have a safe day. Yes, ma'am? Would you like to say something?
I know. Oh, I know you.
Don't.
Oh, I know who that is. I know.
Okay.
Don't worry, I know.
All right, we're on the yellow shirts radars. All these signs just came about. Got paparazzi. We got paparazzi out here. We got this lady, my little bodyguard. Thank you so much for protecting me out here, ma'am. I appreciate it. How are you doing?
All the protests.
Yeah, I follow the protests, see what's happening here in the United States.
Do you support people, right-wing YouTubers?
She came and talked with me. I'd like to continue my conversation. Oh, we can talk. What was your question you had for me?
He's on a right-wing station and he makes tons of money. Do it.
My name's Nick Shirley. Jeez, man, you must be upset that. Wow, all right. Let's move on the back of the protest. This guy right here. Ma'am, do you want to be on camera? You want to tell people what your name is? How are you doing, sir? Now we got this guy pushing me. Jeez, ma'am, do you have a crush on me or what are you doing? You just want to keep following me? I can give you my phone number if you want. Okay. We got the yellow vest all up on us now. The people demand ICE out of our communities. Now they're chanting the song, fascists are bound to lose. What do you think about this song?
No comment.
No comment. Do you think Trump's a fascist?
Absolutely not.
Wow. Paparazzi showed up. Jeez. Paparazzi has shown up, everybody.
Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets!
Yes, freedom of press. You have no right to put your You have no right to put your hand in his face.
New York streets, no justice.
What are you doing?
I'm just making sure your camera doesn't pick anything up.
Making sure your camera doesn't back up. Back up. Back up.
Thank you, sir.
Back up. Back
Oh, really? Like your camera too?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You guys get mad at me for being here. Then you can do all this bull crap, trying to prevent me from doing my job. You see all the other cameras here? What are you guys doing? Look at these people. They're the ones who get mad at me for being here, and then they come and do this.
This is going to end very soon. Guys, back up.
Oh, we got Barbie. We got Barbie here.
Barney, no.
Break this camera, or he has to get the engage. Do not engage.
What are you guys doing?
Everybody okay so
Look
far?
at this.
No, stop.
Block the
Don't say that.
Barney's saying, break my camera. What are you guys doing? I don't understand it.
Nick Shirley is fucking garbage. Don't give a fuck.
Look at these people.
Snatching people up.
Alrighty, you see this, you guys? Like that guy says, I have the freedom of press. I can come here. I can speak with them. Right now, we've got 10,000 people in here. They could prove a point why they're protesting, speak about it. But no, they do not like conversation. Let's go get Crackhead Barney. How you doing, Crackhead Barney?
You're an asshole. Fuck you. I don't fuck you.
Come on, Barney.
United
girl.
States.
Get the fuck
We
out
have
of
to be
here.
very clear about
Boy,
it. We have to be
Get
very
Barney.
clear that
I don't fuck with you.
10,
No
12 years
titties for
ago,
Nick.
Oh, good, Barney. I don't want him.
in New York
No words. Bitch, which one is it?
How are you doing? What are you so mad about?
Getting people fucking kidnapped.
How? What are you so enraged about?
You're fucking asshole.
you can stop.
You're fucking asshole.
Why are you so enraged?
Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro.
You're a piece of shit.
You're gonna make a problem.
I wish those migrants broke your fucking camera. I wish they fucking broke it.
Thank you, Barney.
I wish they fucking broke that.
Thank you, Barney.
Yeah, fuck you.
Sir, I'm just here documenting what's going on here.
Are you happy, asshole? Fuck you.
Mayor of Chicago said
They're trying. You're distracting the people from the speakers, ma'am.
That's giving.
You're distracting the people from the speakers.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No.
Crackhead Barney. Barney, why don't you go after these news reporters?
Go the fuck away. Go the fuck away. You want to kidnap?
I can be here. I can be here. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you so angry?
Why don't you have like a real?
Like, I hate when they do this.
We're not touching anything.
Get him out of here, please.
You know
We can play phone tag if you want.
Get him out of here.
I'm not inciting anybody.
Get him out of here.
It's one verse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let me.
What will New York do?
Look.
Break the ice. What will New York do? What will New York do? What will New York do? Straight ahead. Thank you.
Let's go see if we can talk to any more people around here.
Whoa.
The guy just broke the phone.
Not sign anything.
Where'd that go? Thank you so much. Where'd he go? Arrest that guy.
This is our city,
Arrest him.
and we keep each other safe.
I didn't charge him to you. It's all on film. Get it? Arrest him.
That's right, we keep us safe, but we are telling Trump and his band.
What's happening, man? Cuff him off. Arrest the motherfucker.
I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I didn't get him arrested. He got himself arrested.
Get a Planet Fitness Black Card for $1 down, $24.99 a month.
That's a wild one.
This brilliant little device keeps any room ice cold all summer and toasty warm all winter with zero installation.
You should be standing up for people, Nick. Surely you shouldn't have anybody arrested.
He's a piece of shit.
Yo, you're
He's the one who came after me.
kind of fucking white man.
He's the one who came after me.
You can't touch it. You can't touch it. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. Get Nick Shirley the fuck out of here. Get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. I don't feel safe. Fuck Nick Shirley, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You white devils. Get that piece of shit out of here.
You need my identification card?
Get that piece of shit out of here.
Come on, for
Yeah.
Nick Shirley. Fuck Nick
Bro,
Shirley.
we've only been here for
Fuck you, bitch.
25 minutes and this happens. So I didn't do anything wrong, Barney. Now he's a resisting arrest.
You see what I'm saying? We're going here to arrest him because you know you're supposed
Yeah, let me just get your.
Look, they arresting the man. They just arrested him right there.
Just type it up.
Go back to Idaho. Go back to your farm in Idaho.
It'd be a whole lot more peaceful than here, that's for sure.
Sometimes you should let him get what's due, and then you can act.
Do what? I'm right here. If I got something to do for me.
Yeah, you're right here with your goddamn security detail.
No, they're the one who came up here.
That's how this shit works.
You go.
You little bitch.
Wow. So they just made an arrest here from that guy who came and just took out the camera, threw it on the ground, basically. He pushed it, hit it out of the thing. Camera fell, microphone all fell, everything like that. He just came out from behind and now he's arrested. Now you have these people right here.
Nick Shirley. If you see this motherfucker, do whatever you want to him. Do whatever you want. I have a lot of followers. Do whatever the fuck you want to that white boy. That's what I'm saying.
A $2 hooker right there.
Yo, like your mama. Like your mama, bitch. Like your mama, bitch. Like your, she can touch you. Like your mama.
literally here for 25 minutes or so, and they're the ones who came after me. They're the ones who follow me. I come here to document, show you guys, talk to people what's happening, and then they come after me every single time. It's the same thing that happens every single time. I can't do anything about it, but that's just how it goes. We're out here talking to people. We're given the opportunity to share their opinions on what they're protesting for, seeing if they know what even happened yesterday. Yesterday they arrested 9 illegal migrants, and they all had a reason for being arrested. Some were drug dealers, others were counterfeit sellers, others had even had their final orders given to them years ago, and ICE just came in and they did a target arrest on those individuals. And so I was asking them about that. Everybody, look, we got the guy. He is laying on the ground. This is the man who they arrested for trying to attack me. He succeeded in almost breaking the phone, but we're still standing.
Latinas for Trump. Latinas for Trump. Latinas for Trump. We love Trump. We love ICE, and we love everything that they're doing.
Look, now they're all on the street. They've taken to the streets. RiseAndResist.org. That is who they're working for or working with. RiseAndResist.org. That is the group they are working with.
When do we want it? When do we want it?
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
How are you doing, sir?
No peace!
What's your thoughts on the protest tonight here in New York City?
Doing great.
Doing great. What do you think about the feds coming in yesterday? A lot of people are saying it's very fascist of Trump to do that. Do you agree? What do you think, Dumbledore? Dumbledore didn't have much to say. This lady's on top of the cop car. Oh no, she's fallen. She was on top of the cop car. How's the protest going for you guys? Good. It's going all right. What brought you guys out here today?
The cause.
The cause. And yeah, obviously people are upset with the deportations. And with New York City being a sanctuary city, I didn't know if it was going to be possible for them to come in here. What do you think that says about what Trump's doing here in the United States, coming into a sanctuary city like New York?
I think it's just bad all around. There's no other way to put it.
Thank you.
It's okay.
It's okay, sir. It's all right. Some people have jobs.
Okay, no need to throw shade, my dude.
Hey, well, he's not letting me do my job. I mean, he is getting paid right now. Hey, we are all out here. You got a good personality, I can tell. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. Oh, nice. Do you think they should give mass amnesty to everybody here in the United States?
Immigrants. No, I think a lot of people would deserve it. I think many people are scared to come to these courthouses now, especially with ICE. But I think if we allowed an easier path for people to come here, I think we could have a lot of contributions to a lot of amazing people.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier if it was easier for people to come here.
Okay.
I'm not hostile, sir.
Oh, okay.
It would be a lot easier if there was a quicker process. And I wonder why, like, even this administration and past administrations haven't done it.
I know. No, Biden's a like middle of the road kind of lukewarm guy. But I think if we made it easier, perhaps we get a lot of amazing people in this country.
Who do you think Democrats are going to back in the next election here in the United States?
Do what?
Who do you think Democrats are going to back, like, support in the next election?
God,
we're halfway, guys.
I don't think they learned from the
17
last
left.
election. I think they're still not reading the room.
Who's your person of choice?
I'm still watching who's gonna come out, and I'm still watching people's reactions. What's happening now to make my decision? You know?
Yeah.
I think this time is gonna tell us a lot.
Good conversation. Thank you. Can we talk to you?
No KKK, no fascist USA.
Yes, I agree. No KKK.
No KKK, no fascist
I agree.
USA.
Do you feel the shame of it yet? I don't know. What shame should I feel? She said I don't have a soul. So right now we're on Broadway, and look at the group of people we have out here today. See, you're the one who just followed me over here. Look at you. Look, he's the one who came and found me. Was I looking for him? Absolutely not. Do I want to see him? I do not care to see this man. Oh, it's you. You guys are the ones who come to me. I don't even come to you. See that guy?
That guy's go.
They're arresting him now. Boom, another arrest. See that? That guy just came and shoved me. Came and targeted, and now he's getting arrested. So far today, my presence has caused 2 arrests here in New York City, just from protesters coming and attacking me. Unbelievable and unnecessary here for people to be attacking people who are just showing people what's happening at events.
I love Trump.
Why do you love Donald Trump?
Trump? Because the Bloods love Trump, and I'm Blood, you heard? Marion Bloods love Trump, you heard? I'll tell you first, this myself, you heard? We outside. I always say 050, you heard? I got that, and I got Christ the Lord backing me. I want to see anybody try to touch me, you heard? Steady acting. Stay 050 always. Steady outside, you heard? Steady acting gang.
That guy likes Trump.
I saw what he did to you and the other guy. It's be like disorderly conduct. You're not injured, right?
No, not injured.
Yeah, we disorderly
But it is a little hazardous and dangerous how people are just coming after me. Thank you, officers. He did not trip and fell. He did not trip and fall. That's a lie. He came and attacked me. Look at him. Here's the man who came and attacked me from behind, is now arrested. Wow. So there's the man. Came from behind, shoved me, and they're going to get him for disorderly conduct.
Any one of you that identifies as a patriot is a traitor to humanity. Any one of you that identifies as a patriot is a traitor to humanity. Thomas Paine would have been fucking disgusted with you. You don't know a damn thing about freedom, and instead you victimize the least of brothers and sisters. You are not Christian. You are not free human beings of planet. You're fucking traitors. And I hope you understand that. I hope you feel that in your heart. They're victimizing people because you allow it.
See, that's what we do. We let everybody speak here on the channel. All right, so right now you have all these people who are yelling at the police officers because of the man they arrested who came and tried to attack me. They got him for disorderly conduct. He tried to run away. He did not get away. They got him, and then he is now arrested.
Ashamed of you.
And now people are saying their families are going to be ashamed of themselves. What was the charges? The charges are disorderly conduct. You cannot just go up and charge somebody from behind. Oh no, because he came and attacked me. Do you want to come here? I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it. Why should I go F myself, sir?
Get the hell away from me.
I'm telling you what just happened. You want to hear the truth of what happened or not?
I'm telling you, get the fuck away from me.
Okay, I will.
Get the fuck away from me. He's trying to provoke.
I ain't provoking anyone. He's the one yelling F you. I didn't yell F you.
You stepped up to him.
I did step up to him to talk to him. I did step up to him. I did step up to him.
Fucking bulletproof vest, your whole bullshit because you got a coterie of people behind you. You're a tough guy with a bunch of guys.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. See, this is what happens out
Glad you
here.
agree with me.
Thank you,
Glad
sir.
you agree. You know you're breaking the law right now. By
How?
You're not allowed to wear a Oh, he just pushed up to this guy. He's,
Okay, cool.
Confront, start some shit.
It's not
And then
a
it turns
bulletproof
into
vest
something
anyways.
else. Because his actions.
Thank you so much, sir, for being out here. Wow. Now they're going back to the march. Why do you hate me so much for being white? Black lives matter, white lives matter, Asian lives matter, Mexican lives matter, all lives matter.
Black lives matter, period. That's it.
Why do you, but you're white. So do you not believe your life matters?
I'm super white.
Do you not believe your life matters?
But I use my privilege.
Okay.
Talk shit about like shit like this. Goodbye, go back to Idaho. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go back to Idaho.
Stop locking up our people. Stop locking
I'm not locking up anybody. I'll go there. I'll go there. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This is New York City.
You guys gotta use the sidewalk.
Okay. I gotta get on the sidewalk. I gotta join you guys. I will. Thank you for the battle cry, Dumbledore. I didn't ask with anybody.
Oh, you're fucking around, bro. You're an agitator.
How am I an
We
agitator?
have an agenda different than yours, and you're here to fuck around with this whole thing.
How?
To try to provoke something.
I didn't provoke anything,
Yeah,
sir.
you are.
They
Yeah,
came
you
after
are.
me.
By your actions, your words, you're provoking.
Let him do it.
Yep. So keep blowing your horn.
Oh, so we leave it alone?
Yep.
That's why we're here.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
See how much?
We leave it alone.
See how much more peaceful
Because
it
we
is
don't speak out.
when you don't come after
Because
me.
we don't condemn. Because we don't fucking point it out. You're what's wrong with America.
I am.
Yes.
Really? How?
You.
I promote free speech. I promote law and order.
You have free speech.
Get on the fucking side of the bus and
I support law and order. You guys are ill-informed about what happened here on Canal Street. Wow. How are you? What's your sign say? Yo, ICE out of here. New York strong.
I can't hear you.
Why do you think New York is so against ICE being here inside of New York City?
I think it's because you respect everyone that lives here. It's one city, one group united.
And the topic of illegal migrants. How do you feel about that? If they are illegal here in the country? Look, now they just shut it down. I'm not a right-wing troll. I just asked her a question. You don't need to talk to me, but we would appreciate a nice conversation out here. It's been a little wild so far. What's the sign say? What's the sign say?
Democracy dies in a police state.
And can you explain that? What do you mean by democracy dies by police state?
In a police state.
If you have a police state,
feel
it's
like
not democratic.
Do you feel like democracy is dying underneath Donald Trump?
It's a troll.
I'm not a troll. The criminal gang I see is ICE. You think what they're doing is illegal here in the United States?
Yes, no due process is illegal. Absolutely.
And what do you think about the individuals who they arrested on Canal Street yesterday?
Don't know.
Don't know. Can I tell you a little bit about them?
Nope.
Don't want to hear about them?
I don't want to talk to you.
Okay. What do you think about what's happening here? Why?
I think what they're doing is useless because they know the feds will fuck them up. They will eat them up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If they think they're going to stop ICE, they got another thing coming, you know. Let's be honest. You know, they're just mad because I saw that video about Canal Street, right? The feds will fuck you up. The feds will fuck you up. You know, because we know what happened around, like, you know, like Canal and Broadway with how they punched their guy. And now they're mad because we want to get rid of the bootleggers that are like, because they get violent towards me too, talking about like, don't take video of Canal and Broadway or we're going to fuck you up. And even like, you know, they be putting in my hand, what's up, man?
How are you?
But yeah, you know, they be dudes is tweaking out here. Like, you know, so it's like, what? You know, like, okay, now that like laws are being enforced, it's like, what? Like, okay, so now they want to be outside defending the bootleggers, defending the people that get violent towards like, you know, American citizens who make way more money than me illegally. And God forbid I make a misstep in my taxes and then they charge me quadruple on this bullshit. So it's like, what's this really about, you know?
What do you think about them coming through here, the feds and the ICE and the HSI?
Well, I think they should let ICE do what their job and just do what they have to do. Right? Everybody had the job to do. You're doing a job. People should let that happen.
People that have been sold a bunch of information online about ICE being the Gestapo, Trump being a Nazi, and they've taken the bait to call somebody like Donald Trump Hitler.
Of course.
A man who killed millions of Jews.
I believe the mainstream media. That's why I respect people like you so much, because the mainstream media, all they do is push that out. And you're out here actually showing what's actually going on, right? You're out here. Nobody else in the media does this. They're showing clips, but you're showing the truth. And I respect you. And I know there's other journalists that do it, but you know, I wish it just became more mainstream that way.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
That's what we need.
And it's interesting because you do see a lot of people on cameras, but you do not see any ABC, CBS, MSNBC. You don't even see really Fox out here. They don't have like a correspondent out here. You know what I mean?
They might get a clip or something and then make up their own story from it, but you're just showing what's truth. You're asking questions, getting people to just talk, you know, like you're doing right now.
The purpose of these live streams is to go up and talk to protesters, see why they're protesting for, see if they know why they're protesting, and just to give people the inside scoop and to show people on the ground, because a lot of, like I said, no mainstream media news outlets are out here live talking to people, showing why people are protesting. And at the end of the day, each and every single one of these people has the right to free speech, has the right to come on here, speak whether they want to or not. That is their decision. We're not going to force anybody to speak if they don't want to speak. But my job here as an independent journalist is to speak with people, show things for what they are. And these live streams is one of the best ways to do it. So that way people can't say you twist the words of individuals. You can't say edit, whatnot. This is just the straight facts of the matter of what happens here at these protests, talking to people. Why do you call people that don't believe in the same things you believe in Nazis?
4 minutes.
I believe in law and order. I think we should respect and support our police officers. And I think the deportation of someone that is illegal, given due process,
deporting people with citizenships.
Really? Can you name somebody?
They're detaining people with citizenships. They're taking them to concentration camps. Thousands of people in the concentration camps, Alligator Alcatraz, they're gone, disappeared.
What's your definition of a concentration camp?
A camp where they take people to kill them. It's literally just fascism.
And has anybody been killed?
Fascists. They disappeared. Where do you think they went? Where do you think they went?
Do not believe anyone has got killed. Back to their home country.
No. There's no record of that. They just disappeared. Where do you think they went?
Really? It's always the white man trying to tell people are just disappearing.
Right.
I haven't seen anything
You're
like that.
Nazi. You're a fascist.
See that? If they don't agree, then they just walk off and call you a Nazi and a fascist.
Shut it down.
What, ma'am?
New York City, shut it down.
What should they shut down?
New York City.
Why? You want all of New York City to get shut down?
Why not? Shut New York State down. Take it off the map.
Really? Replace it with what?
AXP.
With a communist flag.
You would like them to a communist flag for Zoran?
Yeah. Make USA a communist country.
Do you think Zoran will make New York City communist?
Why not?
Would you like that?
No.
Then what would you like?
I would like it to. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What's this? You want to slice my neck?
Yeah, look at that.
Ignore them. You have a right to say whatever you want.
And so you would like New York City to become a communist state?
No, I'm not voting for Zoran.
Okay.
Sliwa from here.
Wow, I'm confused.
So would you vote for Cuomo?
No, because he never visited a nursing home. I don't care if he ever visited a Muslim place. He never visited a nursing home.
So then who's your pick for New York City mayor?
Curtis Sliwa all the way.
High five on that one. And what makes him more ideal
she was
than the
joking.
rest of the other mayoral
Because he's the founder of the Guardian Angels for 47 years.
This is a true New Yorker right here.
Taking a swing at the same time. That is a New Yorker.
Yeah, it's a New Yorker right there. So you,
I see, baby.
so you do not want Zoran Mandami to make this a communist city.
No.
Government grocery stores?
Why?
Good idea or bad idea?
Oh, it's a great idea.
Broski, love the hat.
We'll rob that too.
Wow. This is a true New Yorker out here, man. Giants or Jets?
We should keep them both.
You want to just clarify that you're not that you were joking about that statement about New York becoming a communist state?
No, it will be.
Oh, well, it will be.
If Zoran wins.
And he most likely will. That's the sad thing.
That's the sad thing. From the buses to the subways, there will be no safety.
If Mamdani's elected.
That's right.
Shout out to NYPD. Great guys. 2 people got arrested today because they came and attacked me on the live stream. A little wild. I'm not come to these to agitate, to infuriate people. If you saw what happened, people came and followed me. It brings the crowd. They start following me, pointing me out. And it just causes more chaos when I'm just there to talk to the people. It's a little worrisome that that's kind of current day America, that people come after you for potentially, they don't even know if you have a different belief or ideology. I'm not here to debate with anybody. More so, I'm here just to ask questions and question their thinking, question the logic. And then if we ever need to, we're always down to stand on business and tell them what we believe in as well. So we appreciate all you guys for watching.
Okay, you guys, another great one there from Nick Shirley. I got a couple more I'm going to play. It's an update from Pete. They got an announcement, 6-minute video.
With me, we just got done detailed briefings, but of course he is busy because CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be.
There you go, you guys.
Because Iran has a chance to make a good deal, a great deal, to codify what they said they've been willing to do, and they haven't been willing to do it. So, as President Trump said, they've been tapping. You can see when someone's trying to tap on a deal. Instead, they're going to have tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart. It's because the War Department is prepared to set the terms to ensure that we get the kind of deal President Trump expects. And Admiral Cooper and the team here at CENTCOM has done a phenomenal job from the beginning on Epic Fury and through this blockade, ensuring that we have a chance to reach that end state, which is Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which they say they don't want. And so since we're so close to that negotiated deal, if that's the case, they should step up and do it. There's another thing that was revealed today by the president that the press has not been aware of, but certainly this building, the U.S. Central Command, has known, is that Project Freedom, the idea of running ships through the Strait of Hormuz, it never stopped. It just went underground. So there's some things the public knows and some things the public doesn't know. But ultimately, we've been protecting commercial shipping going through the Strait of Hormuz, as the president announced, to the tune of over 100 million barrels that have moved through and more in the middle of the night, protected by the United States in a way that Iran can't stop. They can't see it and they can't stop it. So answer me this. If our blockade is ironclad, which it is, we just disabled another tanker attempting to leave just yesterday. Our blockade has stopped almost 140 ships attempting to navigate in or out to Iranian ports. So if our blockade is ironclad, which it is, and we're able to move commercial shipping in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, who controls the Strait of Hormuz? And President Trump said it, and he's right. The United States of America controls the Strait of Hormuz. We're able to bring oil in and out and other things with partners, and have done so now for weeks and weeks, in ways the Iranians don't want to acknowledge. That's a powerful reality on the ground. Add that to what the United States military, what Central Command did to their Navy, to their Air Force, to their air defenses, to their power projection capabilities. And we know exactly on this ledger who's on the strong end and who is not, who's had decisive effects and who can't defend. And so from the beginning, we've shown overwhelmingly the kind of capabilities the War Department can bring. This building continues to plan. And so those strikes that'll happen tonight will be strong. They will be clear. If they haven't happened tomorrow night, they will be strong and they will be clear. And throughout, Iran has an opportunity to make a deal. That's the point. President Trump is a deal maker, the best in the world. He's prepared to make that deal. Iran would be wise to take it. Otherwise, they would have to deal with the types of plans that I just had a chance to see inside Central Command. And I'll end with this. I had a chance to thank the thousands of incredible Americans here at the headquarters that represent the tens of thousands out in theater, just the absolute best, dedicated to the success of this mission. Whether it was Epic Fury or the blockade and the ceasefire and the things that have happened underneath it, to give the president all the space he needs to make a great deal. They're enthusiastic about this historic mission. They're enthusiastic about the incredible results that CENTCOM has shown, and the media wants to spin it. They always want to make America look bad. They always want to make the president look bad and make it look like he hasn't accomplished incredible things. What CENTCOM has done here has been historic. And the military objectives that they've achieved have reset the table in this region and set the table for the kind of movement through the Strait of Hormuz based on U.S. control that changes the whole game. We know how much pressure Iran is under. It's clear. We see it. We read about it. We understand it, and so do they. And they would be wise to make only the kind of deal that President Trump would accept, which is a great deal. I'll take a few questions.
Mr. Secretary, 2 questions on Iran. With this latest response from Iran last night, have they not clearly violated the ceasefire? Have you underestimated Iran's military resolve? Like, why do you keep going back to trying to hit the same targets? And furthermore, you just mentioned
Who said we were going back to hit the same target?
Haven't you been targeting
Most
the same
of their
missiles?
shots, by the way, missed and were shot down by us. So their efficacy and their ability to actually strike is incredibly diminished. And thankfully so. Our air defenders are incredible, and the capabilities we have are incredible. No one said anything about restriking, and we're hitting additional targets. You resurface them when you have to, but ultimately we know exactly what we're hitting and why, and they can't stop us in that capacity, which means they're going to be less able to see and sense the things they want to be aware of.
And then furthermore, you just mentioned you're going to plan to hit them and strike them hard tonight. If the response is in hitting bridges, electrical infrastructure, how would that not be a war crime potentially targeting civilian infrastructure?
But precisely the kind of disingenuous question that I'm used to from the media, impugning the motives of the folks on our side who are incredibly professional and incredibly effective. We will hit them hard on our terms, on the targets that improve the environment for us to operate in and undermine the capabilities that Iran wants to have. Again, they can't do that to us meaningfully the way that we can to them, but we're also clearly signaling to them, you have a choice. You have a choice in the way that you respond, and you have a choice with our incredible negotiating team in Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and the vice president, the president, across the board, prepared, Marco Rubio, the whole team, prepared to make a great deal that would benefit Iran. They choose not to, and as a result, they're going to meet United States Central Command again tonight in the way the president laid out clearly. Yeah.
It's truly amazing. This revolutionary denture has given me.
Okay, so we got to be on high alert, you guys. So I'm coming on at 8. We'll stay up late tonight because the game will probably be on till about 11 o'clock. So I'll stay on till about, get to 2 hours tonight. But I want to finish off with the new Kennedy video on Fox he was on. And then tonight I'll do a lot of short. I got like 20 short ones we got to do. So we'll do them tonight. One more, buddy. Okay.
You may have heard some of my colloquy with my colleagues Aaron Cohn and Victoria Coates about the war and breaking open the Strait of Hormuz. I didn't know if you wanted to make a comment on any of that.
I'll give you one person's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We have accomplished in Iran what we set out to do. Why did we go in? Our intelligence, our spies said Iran is manufacturing in a massive amount conventional weapons, drones, missiles, launchers, so they can turn to Israel and America and say, we're about to restart our weapons program, nuclear warhead program, and if you bomb us again as you did last June, you can do it, but we'll destroy the Middle East. And by the way, our missiles can reach Berlin and Paris and London. President Trump couldn't allow that to happen. He went in, he stopped that. We have injured severely both the public and private sector of Iran. It'll be 20 years, probably cost $1 trillion for them to recover. Have we secured their fissile material? No, we haven't. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to send in troops, which I don't support. I wouldn't wait around for a promise from the religious nuts who are running Iran, because they lie like fish swim. any promise they make about negotiating in the future, they're not going to keep. Here's whatever, I make 2 points. Whatever we're going to do, we need to do it. And number two, the deal I would make with Iran is, look, you open up the Strait of Hormuz and I'll remove the blockade so your people can eat and live indoors. And if Iran took that deal, I'd come home. Why does that, why is there less risk in that? Because all of Iran, we can fly anywhere we want to over Iran. They have no more air defenses, and our spies will know within a minute if they restart the nuclear program, and we can go in and bomb them again.
Well, I think those are well considered. I appreciate the thoughts. Senator, if I may, let me turn to domestic matters in the economy. You've said for a long time, Democrats will never let the GOP get a budget through. They just won't vote for it. So it's got to be done through reconciliation. 50 votes plus the vice president equals 51. Now, I'm seeing Senator Thune seems to be sympathetic towards the third reconciliation bill. And I'm seeing we have Jody Arrington, the budget chair in the House, coming on later in the show. He seems to want it. Ways and Means Committee seems to want it. Jason Smith. I'm hoping you could get some, additional tax relief, maybe inflation indexing capital gains, perhaps other things. How about waste, fraud, and corruption, withhold grants? And we're also seeing some interesting ideas. Senator Blackburn had one, a House member Fedarcho from North Dakota had one on a real ID or somehow getting through a simpler Save America kind of voting reform. So it just seems like movement glacially is picking up a little bit. Got to be done in the next 4 to 6 weeks. How do you see it, Senator Kennedy?
Well, I want a third reconciliation too. Our bill too. I'll support from my birthday. It's not going to happen. We're out of time. We have a number of bills that we have to pass. We've got to do something about FISA. We've got the NDAA, and the housing bill, the crypto bill, and somehow you would have to fit in a third reconciliation, which would require all the Republicans to work together. They're not working together right now. That's all complicated by the fact that we're not going to pass a budget. Senator Schumer has instructed my Democratic friends to vote on it. The game plan is to wait until the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th, and then he's going to shut government down before the midterms to create as much chaos as possible. So do I want a third reconciliation bill? Yes. Do I have a lot of ideas which ought to be in it, of what ought to be in it? Yes. But I see the world as it is, not as I want it to be.
But look, midterm elections out there, I dare say the economy is outperforming expectations. I understand gasoline prices, but that may wither away as the war draws to a close. But wouldn't the GOP want some additional product? For example, Senator, the vice president's doing a great job on waste, fraud, abuse, corruption, all this stolen money by interest groups. Emmett Oz in Los Angeles, for example, and Minnesota and other places. And there's a lot of talk now. How about withholding the money, in a sense, clawing back the losses from all this corruption and stealing? That is so popular. I look at John McLaughlin. He's a very good pollster. His polls show sky-high popularity. And so the Save America Act on voting is popular. The California election is a bit of a fiasco, the way it's played out. Wouldn't those things be good for the midterms and the GOP?
Well, first, let me say, I think Dr. Oz is doing an extraordinary job in fighting Medicaid reform or Medicaid fraud. But let me tell you what I think's going on. Look, I've known you a long time. I'm not going to bubble wrap it. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think the issue on the minds of most Americans right now is the cost of living. When moms and dads lie down to sleep at night, and they can't, they're not worried about Iran. I'm not saying they don't care, but they're not worried about Iran. They're not worried about immigration. They think the southern border is secure because it is. President Trump secured it. They're not worried about cultural issues that much. They're not worried about whether a man can breastfeed. They're worried about the cost of living. And this inflation is hurting people. And middle-class Americans look around and they see too many undeserving people at the top getting bailouts and too many undeserving people at the bottom getting handouts, and they're getting stuck with the bill, and they can't afford it. And we need to address that. And the happy talk's not going to do that. You have to look people in the eye and say, I understand. Here's what's happening. Here's what we have done about it. Here's what we're going to do about it. But you can't tell them no. You can't feel like you feel. You shouldn't believe your lying checkbook, because I'm telling you what they're worried about. I've been out there. I've been in every battleground states. And the American people, at least our middle class, our voters, they're not happy right now.
So I agree about cost of living. Now, I think there's more to it than that. But let's just say I agree, okay? You're on to something, Senator. No doubt about it. I would think if I...
Okay, we got overtime, you guys. I have to play this one. Amanda Grace just came out 1 minute ago. It's 15 minutes. And she said that God told her to get this out right now. So we'll see what's going on with that.
Or in the Senate or the House, I would want to codify all the good deeds that Dr. Oz and J.D. Vance and everybody, Oversight Committee, claw back the money that was stolen from taxpayers, deny the grants, deny the funds, don't let this stuff happen again. I mean, Doge was popular when Elon Musk was riding high a little over a year ago. I'm just saying, I'd want to go there, Senator.
Well, those are splendid ideas. And I want to go there too. But in order for it to happen, all members of the House on my side of the aisle are going to have to work with the Speaker. And at least 50 members, if we do it through reconciliation, of the Senate on my side of the aisle have got to work together. And that has not been the case for the last few months. That's just, I see what you see. That's just a natural fact. And it's great to say, I want a third reconciliation bill. I've been saying that for 6 months. I've said it about a squillion times on your show.
Yes.
But I also want a Porsche for my birthday, and I'm not likely to get it.
Well,
and if we're going to get a reconciliation bill a third time, we got to saddle up and ride hard. And the president's got to join with us.
All right. Well, every Friday night.
All right, guys, let's get this one in and see what Amanda Grace has to say. Important video.
Today, as I'm recording this, I do have a word from the Lord.
I guess that's an old one, you guys. False flag. False flag. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the first show. A lot of good stuff on the first show. We got Nick and Billy out, and tonight we'll do the short ones, all the funny ones and all that stuff. So have a good dinner. I'll go take an hour break and eat something and tackle Chico around. Call up Ariella. See if Chico's going to say hi to Ariella, huh? And so, yeah, a lot of stuff that's going on, you guys. It's going to be an interesting night tonight. So, We'll see you in about an hour or so. Thanks, mods. Carol, Lucy, Tim, Carol, and Michael, and KK. God bless everyone. Love all of them. Please hit like, stay safe, stay wrong, keep your faith, never give up. Signing off for Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday. Chico Nude. We'll see you around 8 o'clock.